Hello classics! Before you begin, please wet your paper on both sides. This is just a piece of your watercolor paper. I just folded it in half and then in half again the other way, and I cut off a quarter of the whole paper, that's why it's small. Then you just wet it on both sides until it stretches onto your painting board so that it lays flat and it's damp. So prepare all of your paints, some water, your brush, and your sponge. If you haven't done that yet, you can pause here and then do that, and then come back when you're ready with all of your materials. And then we will begin. So we're going to be painting a volcano, and we are going to be starting by sort of mapping out, just with our mind's eye, where you want to position yours. So for me, I want the top to be here, where the opening will be, where the lava will be coming out of, and then mine will be just a simple conical shape like this. So once you have figured out where your volcano is going to be, then you can go into your lemon yellow, the brightest yellow, and you are going to be putting yellow at the site of the explosion. So we're painting an exploding volcano, and then we know our shape because we planned it before. And what you will do is you will just let the yellow drip down along the body of your volcano, a little bit here and there, but you want it to not be too symmetrical, not too perfect. So maybe on some parts it will have a shorter drip. Mine will mostly be on this side, and then I will leave it just dripping on one side like that, and then maybe more of an exploding here. So we don't want it to be too symmetrical, or else it will not look very organic or natural. We want to have some asymmetry in our painting. You don't need to copy mine exactly. You can shape it how you want, and you can make the drips some bigger, some smaller, some thinner, some thicker, and you can make them not go straight down. You can make them go through ridges like this if you'd like. So just continue that, and then I'm going to be cleaning the brush, and then we'll go on to the next color. We're not using all of our colors, but you can add more. Like once you look at your own painting, how you made it, you can decide what colors you would like to add. So the next step here is I'm going to be placing the vermilion red on the edges, and then I'm leaving the middle of each drip to glow bright yellow. Then I'm just painting the gaps where the body of the volcano will be, and I'm just going through all of the body of the volcano here, and you can also blend in a little bit into the yellow. They can touch, and what that does is it can allow you to make very thin streams of the molten rock. You can also go a bit on the outside part here and blend the edges to let your yellow glow. Like that. Then you can also add a bit of exploding effect from the edge here of the yellow. If you want a bright middle, then don't go in too much in that part. Just show some streaks here and there from the middle of the explosion. Alright, keep blending it. And then we can wash our brush again. And then we'll go in to our Prussian blue. And then we'll go in. It's a bit too light. I'll just try to mix up my paint because it settled to the bottom, it seems. Yours might do the same thing, so just try to activate it again. And we are going to be placing it in the big areas of vermilion to make the gray that we did before. And you want to leave like a gradient where it's bright yellow in the middle of each stream, then it goes into vermilion orange, and then it goes into the gray of the volcano. And it doesn't have to be super even. Maybe some are more yellow than others. You can add more shadow. So now that we have the main body of our volcano, we can add other colors as well. So I want sort of red sky. So I'm going into, after cleaning my brush, I'm going into my carmine red. And I'm actually going into the sky. If you don't want to cover up the streaks you made earlier, then just go between them. You can also use the red to blend. So I'm using that to show off sort of how hot it is from the explosion. You can go back into the brightest parts. You can clean your brush, make sure it's dry, and then you can actually go into the middle and sort of pull and make bright streaks that way. See, you can elongate those streaks. And then I want to go into my ultramarine blue, and I'm going to be painting the outer part of the sky and then blending in later on. I'm distributing it for now. Then I'll blend it on into the red to make a purple later. But I also want to place this blue at the bottom of the volcano to show sort of more dark shadows. Then I'm going to just clean my brush first because I picked up a bit too much pigment. I'm going to dry it. Then I'm going to be blending in. So for the top part, it's going to be blending with red. So I'm going to be cleaning it again before I go and blend it with the gray. So I'm going to be blending here. I don't want it to look too streaky. I'm just blending it. So I have sort of a purple. So it's like the blue of the sky became more red. So we're going into purple. So you can see sort of everything radiating from the middle here. Now the explosion is a bit too large for me, so I'm actually pulling in from the outside and going in a bit. So just like how you were able to extend your streaks outward, you can also the sky go in to define these tongues of fire that go out from the explosion. You can make them more isolated by going in with the blue of the sky or the purple of the sky and defining its shape, just like that. So I'm cleaning my brush again before I blend here, just so that it's not too obvious where the ultramarine stops. We make sort of an ombre effect there. I didn't do here a bit too much, so when you make a streak that you want to remove, you can just dry your brush with a sponge and then pick it up again. If you want to make something white also, as long as it's still wet, you can pick it up with a dry brush. You can also use the dry brush to straighten up some things. Here I want to make this a bit more sharp. There. So that is our exploding volcano. And you're free to make your own shape. You can even add clouds if you have enough space. Maybe your volcano is smaller than mine. So you can make your volcano very individual to you and treat it like your very own piece of artwork. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time.